home invasion was set off by members of an organized crime organization. Police were able to observe 3 individuals casing out a home over a 36-hour period. Those individuals were armed with a loaded gun. And at some point later in that period of time, they had an interaction with police. It was a violent interaction where one of their cruisers were rammed. And that set off an investigation that led police to realize that there were multiple officers working in collaboration with dozens of organized crime members, and they had essentially flipped and were funneling information as well as their efforts toward organized crime in the city. So everything from drugs to auto thefts, gambling, all kinds of things here being involved. So yeah, a really big deal here today.
And you know, as you're speaking, David, we are seeing the images as part of this YRP investigations. These officers have been named. They are facing some serious charges here. What are some of these offenses and what are they accused of?
It's a long list, and kind of like I told you there, everything from, there are activities relating to illegal gambling rings, car thefts, to drugs and trafficking, as well as extortion, to, sourcing illegal, or rather illegally sourcing personal information and leaking it out to organized crime. Now, that information that was leaked out was used in a number of violent altercations, including shootings. So a direct connection here between their activities and actual violent crime happening in the city. Tim Barnhart, one of those individuals charged with something particularly serious, a conspiracy to commit murder. So a little while back in that video we showed you, the would-be victim of that home invasion is a unit commander at the Toronto South Detention Centre. That particular individual would have been the victim of that home invasion. Now, the thing that police are alleging is that if that home invasion had gone south, that murder was on the table. So the issue here is that now with that charge facing Tim Barnhart, we've got this particular individual, the unit commander there at the Toronto South Detention Centre, who essentially wasn't participating with organized crime. That's an important detail here. This was somebody in detentions who was refusing to participate in organized crime, was doing their job well. Police were very clear that this was a victim and was not participating in any of those crimes, and they were targeted for that very reason. So that's what set it off, and that's what some of the charges are circling around here today.
David, we've been following so many criminal incidents, violence incidents in our cities here, including those connected to the tow truck industry. And there was a question that was posed to the police chiefs about that.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot about that, and there was some speculation leading up to this announcement that there may be an overlap with the violence we've been seeing relating to the tow industry, and the answer is perhaps a little bit maybe. So the thing that we've got here is a situation where there was one location where one of these incidents happened that is relevant to the towing industry. There was a tow truck present. One of the individuals facing charges is related to the tow truck industry, but at the same time, the police chiefs here saying that some of the shootings they know for a fact weren't related to that. So it appears there perhaps is a slight overlap here, but is not necessarily a hand-in-glove operation with some of that violence we see. Really perhaps a slight overlap.
David, before we let you go, I want to ask you about the message that the police chiefs, including DEMQ, that they had to the public. The details emerging here can impact public trust. So what's the message coming from the top cop?
The message here is that they're taking this seriously. Of course, whenever police officers, not just police officers, but a large number of them are seen effectively flipping their efforts and, going in the service of organized crime while still being on the job and supposedly policing those very segments of crime, that they're taking it seriously. Earlier today, we also did get a chance to hear from the Deputy Chief of York Regional Police, and they again spoke about that exact sort of thing, about how seriously they're taking this investigation and working collaboratively with Toronto Police to effectively clean that up, and we've got that clip for you here.
We are alleging that some police officers who were collecting personal and private information unlawfully and distributing it to members of organized crime, which ultimately resulted in serious harm in our communities. In some cases, police officers were offered bribes for this information. We have identified a number of serious criminal acts that have occurred following the release of confidential information, almost in real time. This includes extortion, commercial robberies, and 7 shootings right here in York Region. We allege that those shootings were, in part, facilitated by the release of confidential information from Constable Barnhart to Mr. DaCosta and Mr. Satanowski.
Now, Barnhart's bail hearing is supposed to have been earlier this morning. We're going to get more details on that for you shortly. But again, this is a very serious thing, and all these arrests that happened last night. So just developing right now. We're just getting that information, and we'll have more for you throughout the day.